All right, first off, Coach, just kind of talk about the DBs you got. It seems like you have 6 or 7 guys you can just rotate in there, and there's not too much of a drop-off.
I don't know about that. 6 or 7, that number's kind of high. But at this point, I think the guys, I feel a lot better coming into camp this year as opposed to last year. Last year, our numbers were down a little bit, and this year, some guys that haven't stepped up in the past kind of are stepping up now. And it's a tribute to what they've done in the off season and then here this summer. The guys did a great job this summer working out. So, day 1 on Saturday kind of seemed like day 16 of spring practice, as opposed to coming in and on that first day of practice to start from scratch.
Coach Stu mentioned that Pat Miller had a really athletic pick on a scale. Can you talk about that?
Always I remember, I think it was kind of a scramble, a quarterback scramble, and the wideout kind of ran a dig, and Pat obviously was in the right place at the right time, and he closed on it and come up with a great pick. But I think the one thing, looking at the younger guys, him and Broderick, they got great closing speed, and just got to work out the technique, and when they get used to what I'm asking them to do and everything else will take care of itself.
I noticed you got them out there pretty early. What are you going over with these guys?
Going over everything. It's a situation where, I told both of those guys when they were recruited, and we told our guys that were here that as far as the guys that are here, we're recruiting, a couple of freshmen to come in and play, not come in and sit the bench. So simply just trying to get those guys in a situation where they have the opportunity to play. And now we have to see can they handle the workload, and of course it's a little easier now because there's no school. No school running around, no females running around, so they're we have their attention. But once school starts and they start studying, and the campus gets full of people, it becomes a little tougher.
How about all the guys? Have you been pleased with the way they've been paying attention and doing the things you need to get done?
I have. Like I said, it's just a tribute what they, the type of kids that they are. They're all good kids, but they came out this summer and they worked. They paid the price, and now we put it all together and get ready for that opener September 5th. But to this day, I have been pretty pleased with the group as a whole.
I would guess, too, when you get them in pads, when you're really going to find out what you need to know, right?
Exactly. Of course, when there's no pads, guys seem to be moving a little faster, and when that ball's in the air, they're breaking a little harder and everything. And then when you get those pads on, and a couple of those, they get cracked a couple of times, they get a couple of those linemen pulling out, and they get hit in the noggin a couple of times. That intensity has, tendency to slow down a little bit. So we'll be anxious to see when we put the full pads on, especially with the young guys and a couple of the guys that, haven't done what they were supposed to do in the past or what they're doing it now, and see if they picked up where they left off in the spring to continue to perform.
How long will you let these guys go before you have to move on with some people? I know that's usually an issue in camp. What's the cutoff point there?
I don't know if there really ever is a cutoff point. When you look at the year, you're playing 12 games, and the season the way our season is, where we start here December 5th, we don't end until December 5th or 6th. So again, I don't know if there's really is a cutoff point. Obviously there'll come a point in time, and it's probably when you really look at probably after the 3rd game of the season. If one of those kids hadn't played or hadn't been on the special teams, on a bunch of specialties, then it's probably a good chance that they'll be redshirted. But to this day, we're going full force and throwing them in the fire and see what they can handle, see what they can do and what they can't.
How about in camp, when getting the majority of the reps? When do you start making a decision on that? When you start paring it down and getting the guys you need in there?
That's usually probably 10 days, 12 days before the opener. Like I said, right now it's pretty much wide open, up in the air, and bottom line. And when we go in and as a coaching staff and evaluate the film, it's who's making plays, consistently.